A very good evening and welcome to Try Time with me, your host, Mohamed Abubakar. It's another week, another show, rugby's #1 show here in Kenya. We are talking all matters rugby, and we've lined up an exciting show for you. We'll be talking matters Kenya Cup, of course, match day 4 of games that were played over the weekend. And of course, we'll be taking a look at match day 5 fixtures that we'll be looking forward to this coming weekend. And we won't be leaving out the IRB World 7 Series, that second leg in Cape Town. Kenya Sevens performances, we'll be taking a look at all that. You can be part of the conversation. It's a very interactive show. The hashtag is TryTimeKE. Social media handles will be appearing at the bottom of your screen. I'd like to invite my panelists, Benjamin Ayimba and Lavin Asego. Karibuni, gentlemen. Asego, I know you can't wait to start today's show.
I'm a happy man.
All right. I'll tell you why in a few. For now, we'd like to start off with the first two games that we'll be focusing on in depth. The games that were live on Bamba Sport at the RFUA grounds. The first one, Mean Machine losing this one against Impala 22-19. Benjamin, your reactions on that game?
A little too close for Impala's comfort. I think Mean Machine being the team being the side that it is, and of course they're very unpredictable. But too close for Impala. They left it a little too late. Yes.
Lavin.
I think it was a bit unfortunate for Mean Machine because they were robbed right at the last minute. But you see, that's the harsh reality of sports. You have to be in it to win it.
Yeah.
So I mean, they tried to play, in my opinion, against Mean Machine, the Mean Machine way. And like I said last week, you can't beat Mean Machine in the Mean Machine type of game. But I think all credit to Mean Machine. At least they got a losing bonus point. I know their coach wasn't happy about this particular result.
Yeah.
And now I'm a bit worried about Impala because. You know, we've been, for the first 3 weeks, we were talking about them having the depth of the squad and them having youngsters filling into the team and performing and bringing out the results. But the question I have for them is, at what point do you expect maybe your regulars to be in the team? Because I remember the league is on its 4th week coming up, and the fixtures are coming, the more difficult fixtures. So you have only like less than a week to integrate some of your other players. I mean, if you plan to go with the youngsters through and through, I mean, that's all right for you, that's good for you. But I think, just like Ben just said, it was a bit too close for Impala. But all credit to Mean Machine again. They came out, they played the rugby as they know it, and I think they were just a bit unlucky not to come out with full results for this particular game.
Benjamin, what is this way, the Mean Machine way of playing rugby?
It's haphazard. It's one that is not structured. So you don't know when they're going to kick the football. You don't know when they're going to run it. In those instances where they're on the set piece, in the scrum or line up, then you can bully them because then there's only 1 or 2 ways you can go about it.
Yeah.
But when the ball is in the loose, you can expect anything. So don't even lose your own ball, because when you do, they'll pounce on it and make a punish you. Yes.
And the other thing I like to commend them is their goal kicking is actually very good.
Yeah.
And you see, that's what they beat Strathmore Leos with.
They have a good kicker.
Yeah, they have a good kicker. So anything in your half, we saw them going for the audacious kick, like from almost halfway.
Yes.
So they're not afraid to try things.
Yeah.
So any sniff you give them, they're not afraid to take the opportunity. And I think that's what has been working for them. They're still in it. I mean, the season is a bit still, it's in its early stages. Yeah. But I think Mean Machine, they're in a good place.
I think also the mentality that they have, that they have a lot more to gain than lose. So that gives them the impetus to go forward every weekend they step on the field.
Your take on Impala's strategies, especially in the first 4 games as well?
Yeah, it looks like the younger guys are getting tired now. This is the time to call the seniors in. Hopefully the seniors will step up to the plate and do a good job. So it always takes a toll. The younger guys can only take you for the odd 100 and 160 minutes, but when the going gets tough, then they start wilting. So hopefully we'll see the more regular players coming into.
At least it was good to see Samson Onsomu and Duncan Ekasi, the more experienced players back in the squad. So we'll see bits and pieces of the older players coming in as they go into match week 4.
4 wins out of 4, Lavin.
Yeah.
You think they can keep up, especially up until the first half of the season, rather the first 5 rounds?
Yeah, I think they're in a good place. All you need to do is get the wins.
Yeah.
And once you're in that playoff position, hopefully your wins get you a home semi-final or a playoff at home.
Yeah.
Then from there, now it's knockout. You deal with that when you get there.
Yeah.
But at the moment, just get the wins, whatever you can. Just make sure you're in that top 4 position. At least it gives you a good good position going into the playoffs and into the semi-finals.
Very well said there. Let's have a listen to what the coaches had to say after that match.
A win is a win for one. I think we still haven't got our rhythm yet. We are struggling a bit on decision making and we're not as clinical as we'd like to be.
You came from behind to level the scores and, you know, going into the halftime and coming back stronger, taking the lead. What did you tell your boys at halftime precisely?
We talked about ball retention. We're losing a lot of balls, and our indiscipline first half, we consider a lot of penalties. So Machine got a lot of territorial play thanks to our own mistakes. Second half, discipline improved slightly, but we still wasted some chances that we really have to get away of closing those weak moments.
The game has been fine. Actually, the boys have tried their level best, despite the fact that officiating has been much poor on our side, despite the saying Machine as a hooligan, but officiating has been poor on our side, because actually we are taking the game on the head.
You started the game very strongly, going into the second half as well. You went behind, managed to come back. What did you tell your boys at halftime going into the second half?
The boys were just happy and they were ready for the match, and actually they knew they were going to get Impala on their height. Yeah.
Perhaps where do you think were the shortcomings for Mean Machine today?
Mean Machine shortcomings were just awareness a little bit, and also on the set pieces. They lacked a little bit. That's the thing that made them to come down.
All right, Benjamin, do you think they were robbed?
They could have been, rightfully so. Unfortunately, in the coaching world, we say you don't go in front of a television camera to say the officiating was poor. Because the same officials that are going to ref your next few games. You don't have to get on the...
Be careful. on the wrong side.
Yeah. So I think it's a massive effort they put across, and sometimes you understand the frustration. Only given the youth of the youthful coach, he ought to understand one or two things about how to work with people's psychology, because the referee is also just a human being. What do you think next time he's going to do when he takes the field after you shredding him on TV like that? So, those are things to learn. However, I think they're doing well for the kind of club that they are, and it seems like they're improving weekend after another.
Impala, I did mention that.
I think what their coach Frank Dong has alluded to. It's good that he's realized that they're not playing well. But he's also alive to the fact that a win is a win. But just like I said, going forward, you need to start playing well, because not playing well will only get you so far. Because remember, you're still gunning for the big one, which is winning the Kenya Cup, and you'll meet teams who are better polished, who have more structured set pieces. And if you're not playing well, it's not like a Mean Machine where you can leave it late to the last minute to kick a penalty over to win the game. So I mean, it's good that he's realized that. So hopefully something he can work on during the week, and let's see what the
because for now it's a league format, but when it comes to a little bit later, it's knockout.
It's knockout, yes.
Exactly. You don't have any excuses. You don't have any chances.
You lose, you're out.
Yes, that's it.
All right, let's move on to the second game of the day. Queens losing to KCB 22-13. I will start with Benjamin for this one. What's your reaction on the game, your analysis?
I think Queens left it a little too late to get off the first gear. It was a comedy of errors from the onset. The missed passes that didn't work too well, the balls that didn't go to hand, and it was a bit of a mess. The set pieces was really dominated in the first half by Harlequins, but come the second half, I think one or two changes that were made the game a little difficult for them to recover.
How crucial was that try right before halftime for KCB? Because
that was it. That is the try that dictated the game from then on. And it was a very soft try also. And I thought the Harlequins backs left it too late. They ought to have stepped up to go on that defense, and it was a really soft try. The one that the coaches rarely forgive people for.
It's a crucial time.
I hope they've had that line.
They better. You hope they've.
It's one that the coaches rarely let you go for. But these are lessons to be learned early days, so hopefully it can be sorted. And I think this week has been a good one. We've been able to work on a few of those.
Lavin, you called KCB to win this one.
Yes.
But how the game went?
I did, and the thing that I've realized and I've noticed about KCB is now they they have players playing in their more regular positions. Because remember when the league started, we still had players out with the Simbas, so you had the likes of OJ playing at number 13. But now they have everyone back. You saw Darwin back to his normal position. I know he's playing in the wing. Tony's at fullback. You have the Kilonzo in the midfield. Moseti at number 12. So, I mean, they're sort of set. But like Ben just said, conceding a try in literally the last play before halftime is normally very crucial. Because if you notice throughout the game, it was a very, very tight game. I remember even Akina Kwambo, the commentators were saying, I mean, it wasn't as... It was hyped to be the game of the weekend, but it was a pretty sort of dull first half. And I think that played very well in Queens' hand because it disarms KCB. Yes, it mellowed them a bit, but then conceding that try before halftime, I think that was a bit unfortunate. But I think all credit to KCB. They stuck with their game plan. I think they've had a bit of ups and downs in the first 3 weeks, but they've sort of settled. And winning against Queens at home at their home ground is not something easy. So for them, it's a good win for them. I mean, because commiserations to Kenya Harlequins, but I think it's still something things that they can work on in training.
The try came a little bit late as well for Queens.
Yes, it did. Yeah, and if you look at what I was saying, ball not going to hand, all of those missed passes, they cost a bit. Those chances, those times, those. Good chances for overlaps, but it was just killed by the missed pass. And the defenders just drifted across from wherever it is. William was playing 10, and on the day he didn't shine as he ought to have. I think there was quite a few errors from him, and that cost us a very precious point.
All right, let's have a listen to what the other Queens coach had to say about this particular game, and of course, Curtis.
No, I'm happy they're there, but there's a lot of work to do. Let's not shy off from the real nature of the job. There's a lot of work to do, and you've seen it today. So it doesn't matter the personnel; we still have a lot of work to do.
We have to talk about that tackle from Oliver. What did you make of that?
Yeah, that's a moment of madness. I mean, it's just a moment of madness. I'd like to push it under the rug because even the player is sorry he did that. I mean, let's push it under the rug. We learn from these things.
Well, a tough game. Didn't come out on top. So, of course, I don't take defeat very well. But kudos to KCB. They did the business, especially in the first 10 minutes of the first half. They really came out strong and punished us and got our points. So from then we were trying to play catch-up, and it became very difficult. So trying to play from 22-6 down to try and catch up will always be difficult, especially against a quality side like KCB, and we know that they are the defending champions. So eventually 22-14 to 22-13 to our boys at the end. It's back to the drawing board and make sure that we can rectify some of the situations and the things that we got wrong.
All right, before we react to the strategic and tactics of the game, just your comments on that moment of madness. Lavin.
Obviously,
everyone has had a say, Lavin.
Yeah, obviously we're talking about Oliver's tackle. I think knowing Oliver from way back when, he's not really a malicious player. So I mean, these things happen. And it looks very bad, and indeed it could have ended up worse because I actually tried to talk to some people after the game, just to find out how the players are. I mean, it looks very bad when you play it on replay. It's not it's a very unorthodox tackle. Looks almost something from WWE. But I feel, despite the fact that you're not malicious, that was not your intention. As long as it's happened, it's happened. I think the yellow card, some say it was a bit too lenient, but I'm just happy that this didn't come out worse in terms of injury for either of the players. Because
it was dangerous on his side as well.
Yes, it was dangerous. And you see, once you turn a player on the horizontal, it's your responsibility to ensure that he landed safely. I think the leniency came just based on the fact that the player landed on his feet. Any other thing apart from that, it would have been a red card, maybe even a ban for a few games. Suspension.
Benjamin.
Yeah, for Oliver's case, as Lavin has rightfully said, Oliver is seldom that player who wants to injure on purpose another player. So it happened that he did because how he took the tackle. I think he thought the player was a little heavier also. And having been playing the repper charge, I think is much stronger. But anyway, having said that, the intention would have been as clean as possible. But when actions like that happen, it is suggested worldwide that a harsher penalty is given, just because you do not want, in the case like the opposite would have happened, that the player landed badly and causing a life-threatening or a career-threatening injury. So I think it was lenient for the referee. He explained that the end result was more important than the action itself. But however, we can then argue that I can do whatever it is, provided the end result is good.
Provided,
at that point, you don't have control. It was actually so much by chance that the player landed on his feet and on him, as opposed to on the ground. So those are some of the things you want to eliminate from the game, so the game is safer.
You can also let us know what you think about that particular tackle, that incident, in terms of the penalty given to Oliver, sticking by the book, is. But it is a dangerous tackle, and of course, you know, as rugby fans like good banter. People are trying to see the funny side of it. But very quickly now, your reactions to what the coaches had to say about the game.
I think Coach Curtis, like he said, he's very happy to have all his players back. Now he has the liberty and the freedom to play individual players where he wants them to play. You can tell that he's still very critical of his players, despite a win against Harlequins in their home ground. He still demands more from his players. So I mean, just that it shows you the nature of the type of person he is. He demands perfection. But all in all, it's a good win for KCB. I know the head coach of Harlequins, Kado. He's a very passionate coach, and I'm sure they had an earful. And he'll be very critical about what he does this particular week moving forward. Because for them, I felt conceding towards the end of the first half and being dominated in the first 10 minutes of the second half was their major undoing. Because KCB just strangled them, denying them of any possession. And I think, like Ben just said, William at number 10, he could have done a bit better. Maybe he's coming back from the repechage, just trying to gel with his number 9 and a bit of the forwards. But we're here to see what they have to offer in the future.
Very well said. We'd like to move on very quickly, unless you have something to say about the game.
No, that's it.
All right. The next result we'd like to look at is Nondies recording their first loss. And if there was a team that was going to beat Nondies, which would it be?
Now, you know, when I came to studio, I was wondering why there's no red carpet for me. And I told you.
We should have received you with
pom-poms and everything. I told you Nondies was going
Mwamba, making this one, 13-12.
Yeah, you see, as opposed to the first 3 weeks, Mwamba actually went into the half leading this particular game. They were leading by 10-0. And remember, my biggest criticism about Mwamba is they leave it very late. But this time they switched it around. They started very well. In the first half, going to the half 10-0. I felt in the forwards, Nondies dominated towards the end. I remember it was in the last 10 minutes. They come to now 22 for the longest time. They were actually leading the game 12-10 before we got that last-minute penalty, which Scrum of Eugene slotted over. But I think good win for Mwamba. At least now Nondies. At least now Foxy can relax. Yeah, at least we can now speak on level ground. Alikuwa hapa sana. Rudi kidogo mchini Foxy.
Did you see that happening, Benjamin? Because I remember in the predictions.
Yes. No, in the predictions, actually, I actually called them Mamba.
You called Mwamba?
Yes.
All right.
I actually called them Mamba because I think lethargy has set in into the new championship side. So I think it's very telling what a seasoned 15s team, proper season 15 team can do. They know exactly what to do when. And I think the fire that Nondies started with, the lethargy has now set in, and the younger players probably do not know how to deal with so many successes in a row. So Mwamba, of course, claimed that scalp, and as Lavin says, once they change the tactic to be able to be on top of the game, then it is easier to defend a win, a lead, than to chase a game. Yes. I think Mwamba know how to do that well, and like he says, now they've settled and they know exactly where maybe Lavin had a good week with them last week.
And now it's a game of first half now.
Yes.
Not only second half.
Yes.
Do your job in the first half.
Exactly.
All right, we'd like to move on and take a look at another team that recorded another win, still unbeaten. Cabras doing about their business here. I mean, hammering Strathmore by 62-13.
Now, I know Cabras, they still haven't played the quote-unquote top 4 sides at least. But one thing that I'm impressed about is the number of points that they are pumping against these teams. Yeah. Remember, these are Kenya Cup sides. Despite the fact that you might say they're university sides, but they are Kenya Cup sides who've competed consistently for a period of time. But to beat Strathmore by 62, is it 62 points?
Yeah, 62.
62 and restricting them only to 13 points. This is Cabras that we've said they don't travel well, but they came and beat Strathmore 62. They beat Nakuru over 50 points. So, so it's not just. I'm impressed about the number of points they're pumping now. Obviously, that will change when they meet the top four, quote unquote, top four sides. But I think for them, if it comes down to points difference, they've
already done their job now.
A massive gap between them and the next team.
Benjamin?
Yeah, Cabras is the only fully professional side in Kenya, so it is well expected of them to put that performance across. Of course, the margin is what is, like Lavin says, that's a daylight between the two teams. Yeah. So it's good that they're doing that now because they haven't played the quote the bigger teams in the league. So it is good for them to be safe because they might just go to the top quarter and realize things are really difficult. And like Curtis says, guys' tails are up. So they're going to get a lot tougher opposition going forward. And I think this, once they play this last game of this year, then beginning the next year, they'll probably start having very tough fixtures. So it is good that they're capitalizing now on the points as much as they can.
Yeah. All right. The other results of the week over the weekend: Nakuru beating Black Blood 42-22. Oilers losing narrowly to Homeboys 31-28. We'll talk about Oilers in a few when we look at the fixtures. Because of time, let's have a quick look at what these results mean for the Kenya Cup standings that we have after match day 4 of games. You can see for yourselves there, gentlemen. Difference 159, 3 figures. All right, Cabras top. Impala, obviously, the other unbeaten side in the Kenya Cup this season, but that's just how things are looking so far. What do you have to say about the standings, Lavin?
I think Impala, you can tell they're second because of obviously what their coach said. They're losing out on bonus points. So that's the only reason that they're second. But I think they're still in that top 6 position, which guarantees them at least at a playoff. KCB, they're third and familiar position, but they're picking up momentum. You can see Nondi's at least wamerudi chini kidogo, and at least my Mwamba is off the top. The last bottom too. So I think I'm happy with that. Homeboy is still in that final playoff position. I expect them to move up a bit, but you see, my expectations and what they deliver are two different things.
It should be worrying that Impala are second, and their different points differences same as the points. I mean,
the risk they run now is that if they slip up a little and lose out maybe on 2 matches, then they drop beyond the playoff group.
I think one thing Impala cannot count on is points difference to take them through. They just have to
get the points
either win or
bonus. Bonuses.
Points difference will not work for them.
Will not work for them at all. So that's the risk they run, and if they're not getting as many bonus points as they ought to be, because if you look at the closest two, KCB and Nondis, they've got 15 points apiece. So if Nondis does a little better, and of course KCB are going to do a lot better than they have, it's going to be a risk for them. So they, like Lavin says, they've got to win, and they've got to win with bonuses, which is going to be very difficult now going forward.
Lavin, would you have imagined Strathmore would be sitting at the bottom end of this table after
I wouldn't be because the reason I'm disappointed in Strathmore is because last season they made it to the playoff, so they had that final 6th position. So them being at number 12, I know Johnny is not happy because this is not somewhere that he wanted to be. At least, at worst, he should be there number 8. But you see, you only judge based on your results, and so far what they've brought back home is not very impressive, because some of the games that they feel they could have won against Mean Machine, they are games that they lost. So for them, and the games get even tougher, because you see they are yet to play some of the teams at the top.
And obviously that hammering by Cabras hasn't done them any favors in terms of the points difference, as you can see.
None at all. You play 80 minutes and you come out with 0 points.
I know, having not lost any players, I don't think they lost any players during the transfer window. So it's a bit difficult for him as a coach, and I really feel for him because I actually expected that he'd do a lot better than that.
He would be happy that this break is coming soon. Yeah, just regroup, go back to the drawing board.
You know, regrouping also doesn't guarantee wins.
So you know, a break can work either way. A break can re-energize you. Because guys can say, I'm going for Christmas. I'm not coming back.
All right, let's have a look at the upcoming fixtures. The last fixture up until we'll have to wait for the match day 6 next year, that is. But the last one for 2018, last round of games here. We'll start off with the 2 live games that will be brought to you through Bamba Sport. Nondis against Harlequins at Ruaraka, the Den. And, of course, KCB hosting Homeboys. Those 2 games, gentlemen, how do you see those going? Cracker of games, those, eh?
Cracker, yes. I give it for Harlequins because like the mouthful they got from the head coach was not. I don't think they want to go through that traumatizing bit again before they go for Christmas. It will be a very gloomy Christmas for them. And of course, KCB I think will have Homeboys on this one. Playing KCB at the Den is a nightmare. So that's my call for those 2.
I think Mwamba alifungua mfereji ya Nondis because I think I'm giving it to Queens because you see they're coming off a loss and they still want to be in that top 4 position. So they'll be tweaking and changing a few things just to deal with Nondis. And I feel Nondis' strength so far has been in the forwards, which Queens can comfortably match. So I think that one I'm giving it to Queens. For the KCB against Homeboys, Homeboys has been they've not been impressive at the moment. Because at the first 2-3 games we said some of their players are out for the repechage, but then you see they won just narrowly. They scraped through against the Oilers. So facing KCB at home, who are coming off a big win at the Den, I think I'm giving it to KCB on that one.
All right, we'll come and do the full predictions, gentlemen, later. Very quickly, Oilers, like you said, good game against Homeboys.
Yes.
They're facing you guys next.
Oilers are a problem. I was speaking to some of the players from Homeboys who traveled, and they said the Oilers forwards, they are an efficient machine. They are not very big, but they have very good technique. And this was very evident in the game they played against KCB, and they played against Harlequins away. So I think for Mwamba, if you want to give yourselves a chance, I mean, you really have to front up on the forwards because they are forwards. I don't know what they're doing, but so far they are a well-oiled machine.
As a team, overall, because once the forwards do the business, the backs are like bees. They won't leave anything to chance. And they're very skilled. They don't lose any footballs by dropping the ball at all. So they're a very extremely tough side. What I like about them is the efficiency, as Lavin says. They might not be the biggest of all, but whatever size they have, they work very well with their skills, mainly the skills, the soft skills. They're able to convert whatever it is, whatever little ball that they have to points.
They make good use of their strength.
Completely,
yes. All right, one more fixture before we move on to Kenya Sevens, gentlemen. Cabras, Impala. Finally, first test for Cabras. How do you see this one going?
It will be a tough one, but I think we expect to see changes from Impala, changes in terms of additions to the team. Because they're traveling away to Kakamega, which is never an easy place to go. I don't know if the Cabras will summon the rain gods to bring rain in the second half. But it will be a very tough one. But I think Cabras at home.
Cabras will rarely lose at home, especially at a team like Impala, who haven't been playing well, as the coach said, and it's been very evident that they've not been able to shift from the first gear. And Cabras want to put across that statement that they're undoubtedly the champions. So it's going to be it's going to be a little difficult for them compared to the teams they've been playing. But I don't think Impala will be able to pull a win against them.
Should be 5 out of 5 for
probably
Cabras.
Yes.
Very quickly, gentlemen, KCB Homeboys.
KCB.
KCB.
Yes.
Nondis, you don't have to say it. I already know. Queens. Nondis Queens.
I'm calling Queens.
You're calling Queens?
Yes.
All right. You also don't have to say it. Mwamba Oilers.
A scrappy one from Mwamba.
A scrappy one from Mwamba.
Yes. I think Mwamba will have
Mwamba will take it?
Yes.
All right. Cabras Impala, you've said it. You see a Cabras win there. Black Blood Leos. Strathmore have to.
This is the game they've got to win. But I still think Black Blood are playing a far better game.
They're at home.
Yeah.
You're pausing, Lavin.
Let me call a Leo's win.
It's a tough one to call, yeah?
Yeah, I'm calling a Leo's win.
Nakuru Min Machine, the nest.
The nest. Nakuru will have this one.
Yeah,
Nakuru will have this.
Min Machine at Ataga
Especially after their coach saying the officiating was poor. he might just get a whiplash.
All right. Win. Fantastic predictions there. Very quickly, gentlemen, Cape Town Sevens. We managed 2 wins over the weekend. An improvement from the first leg. But what needs to be worked on now going into the third leg next when we come back?
I think now we're cognizant that the mistakes we were making were not, they're simple mistakes, not fundamental mistakes.
Yeah.
And we've worked a little on our defense. We're defending a little narrower now. We're missing less tackles.
Yeah.
And slowly, once we get those little things fixed, then we get a little bit of momentum, winning 2 games, which is not a mean feat if you look at what happened in Dubai. So for me, it is that small gain of winning those 2 games that gives me a lot of encouragement. And the team is now gelling and knowing we are out here on our own. We've got to get things sorted. The Kenyan fans are very unforgiving. So
who among the senior players do you expect to be back now from the third leg?
It will be difficult to tell that because it's something that has got to do with the rugby union and how they want to negotiate with these players. We know there's no money at the rugby union, and the players will understand if they're told there's no money and you've got to give service to the country. It's never rocket science. However, the pride that the rugby union approaches the players with might be the breaking point. But I still believe that the coach has been able to reach out to them and want them to come in and play. So Kimani's absence is really felt. You saw how at some point we lost balls that we're not meant to lose just because our strength wasn't up to speed and we're not running as quickly or as effectively as we usually do. So Kimani's efforts in that team cannot be wished away.
Lavin, you have the last say.
One concern I have about the Sevens, as it is at the moment, is the game against Argentina. We did not touch the ball up until 28 seconds to the end of the first half. You cannot win any games with that type of possession. So that's something that the management needs to look at in terms of technical, how they approach the game. Argentina completely shut us out. And if you look at the games that we lost with big margins, we were not able to retrieve the kickoff. The kickoff is an integral part of Sevens. And I remember the time that we had the most success, we were up, top two in kickoff restarts. So that's if you cannot hold the ball for about 6 minutes, that's a major concern. But like Ben just said, 2 wins. My pride is the win against Wales because it means you're coming off a tournament with a win. Your last game you played is a win. So that's something you carry forward to the next tournament. But just like you said, in terms of players coming back in, that will depend majorly on the negotiations they have with the players and the Kenya Rugby Union. Because you see, the contracts they have at the moment, they are less than ideal. So we see what compromise the union can make, what compromise the players can make, because at the end of the day, the players who are chosen to represent us in the next tournament, that's the best that we can put, and that will determine what performance we have. So at the moment, we can't really tell what lies in store up until we see the particular squad that has been named to go to the tournament.
All right, great conversations here on Try Time KE. Remember, you can be part of the conversation even after the show. The hashtag is Try Time KE. You can visit us on our social media handles and be part of all this talk as we try and make it up to Lavin, giving him the VIP treatment today as he leaves the studios. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for the fantastic analysis. Let's meet again next Wednesday, same time right here. Until then, keep it sporty.